Hello brothers, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about 5 clear signs to recognize a toxic woman. I believe every man should watch this video, especially after seeing so many relationships fall apart because of emotional manipulation. We see it in real life, online, and maybe in our own lives. So watch until the end, because if you've ever felt exhausted, controlled, or suspicious that something isn't right in your relationship, then this video is for you. Once again, these are 5 definite signs that she's a toxic woman. Now, let's get straight to it. Sign 1. She always plays the victim brother. She cries, and you end up feeling guilty. She's sad, and you have to comfort her. Whatever happens, in the end, the one who has to apologize is always you. At first, you think that's love, that's caring, but gradually, you realize you're stepping into a draining loop where her feelings always matter more than yours. You're tired, but you keep giving in because you're afraid of hurting her. You forget that, in a healthy relationship, no one has to carry someone else's guilt. She cries to soften you, stays silent to scare you, then comes back gentle as if nothing ever happened. That's how a toxic woman holds control with emotions, not love. She doesn't need to yell. She just needs to make you feel guilty, to make you believe you are the problem. And once you believe that, you start controlling yourself, choking parts of who you are so you won't make her sad anymore. Brother, listen carefully, that's not love. That's emotional manipulation. When love forces you to always apologize, always take the blame, always try to guess whether she's happy today, that relationship is already off track. A woman who truly loves you won't make you feel lesser. She'll want to solve the problem with you, not avoid it with tears. So if she's always the victim and you're always the one responsible, stop. Look the truth in the eye, that's not love. It's control disguised as emotion. Sign 2. She turns love into a competition. Brother, have you ever felt that instead of being with a companion, you're stuck in a contest? You tell her about something good you've achieved, she isn't truly happy. Her eyes don't light up with pride, they just tighten slightly. Then she changes the subject. She compares. She compares you to others. She compares herself to you. And gradually, everything between you two stops being us and becomes who's better. She doesn't want to walk together. She wants to win. Once love turns into a stage to prove worth, the connection dies by degrees. You see, when a man loves, he wants to build, to move forward together. But with her, every step you take ahead makes her feel threatened. She starts downplaying your success, mocking your effort, and making you doubt yourself. When you succeed, she goes cold. When you fail, she comforts you as if she's above you. That's how she keeps the power balance. Brother, hear this: if she can't be happy when you advance, she's not a teammate. She's an opponent. A woman who truly loves you will see your joy as her joy. A toxic woman is the opposite. She needs you to shrink so she can feel big enough. She needs you to doubt yourself so she can feel valuable. And over time, you start holding yourself back. You hesitate to share plans, afraid she'll be hurt. You dream less, try less, just to keep the relationship peaceful. But brother, that kind of peace isn't peace, it's captivity. A good woman wants to see you stronger, better, and more confident. A toxic woman wants you dependent, weak, and always needing her to feel valuable. If love forces you to suppress yourself so she can be happy, that's not love. It's a competition you will always lose. Sign 3. She wants to control everything, brother. This is where things start to feel suffocating. At first, it looks like care. Where are you? Who just texted you? Why didn't you reply right away? But gradually, those questions stop being curiosity and turn into control. She wants to know who you talk to, what you post, where you go, and who you meet. She gets angry if you don't reply within minutes, turns cold if you forget to say goodnight. And every time that happens, you have to apologize, explain yourself, prove that you didn't do anything wrong. You think that's love, that's attention, but no, brother. Control isn't care, it's fear disguised as affection. She doesn't trust you, doesn't trust others, and truthfully, doesn't even trust herself. A woman like that lives in fear, fear of loss, fear of betrayal, fear of being left behind. And to avoid that feeling, she tries to control everything around her, especially you. She wants power, not to love, but to make sure you can't leave. Slowly, you stop being yourself. You start second-guessing every word you say, every photo you post, every time you meet your friends. You live like you're walking on eggshells, afraid that one wrong move will make her mad. Brother, when love makes you live in fear, it's no longer love. A mature woman will trust you, respect your space. A toxic one needs you within her grasp to feel safe. She'll say, "I just want to know," or "I just worry about you." But the truth is, that's not concern, it's a power obsession. And if you let it go on, you'll lose the most important thing, your freedom. A man can't be happy if he has to ask for permission just to be himself. If you have to think twice before doing something simple, just to avoid her anger, then that relationship has already become a cage. It might be painted pink, but it's still a cage. And a kind of love that makes you ask for permission to breathe isn't love worth keeping sign for. She always plays games. Brother, this is the kind of woman that drains you the most, because you never know where you stand. One day she loves you, like she can't live without you. The next, she's cold like you never existed. She turns everything into a psychological game where your emotions are pieces on a chessboard, and she's the one moving them. When you pull away, she pulls you back. When you get close, she pushes you off, and you're trapped between hope and disappointment, between love and doubt. She doesn't want stability. She wants control. She wants to know if you'll keep chasing. You think that if you're more patient, she'll stop being distant. You think if you love harder, she'll stop testing you. But no, brother. People who play games aren't looking for love, they're looking for power. Every time she makes you jealous, worried, sleepless, that's when she feels she's winning. She needs to see you react, to know she still controls your emotions. And the cruel part is the more genuine your love, the deeper you lose. She uses silence as a weapon, compliments as bait, withdrawal as a test of loyalty. One day, she calls you the only one. The next, she says, "I need space." That's not confusion, it's strategy. A toxic woman doesn't need a reason to walk away, she just needs to feel she still has control, and that you're still waiting. Brother, remember this. A healthy woman won't make you beg for basic respect. She doesn't need to play games to prove her worth, because she knows her value and she knows yours too. A toxic one, however, always fears losing control, so she must create chaos to keep you spinning in her emotional orbit. When you find yourself constantly guessing whether she's happy or sad, loving or cold, caring or distant, that relationship isn't love anymore. It's a power game, and in that game, no matter how hard you try, you'll never win. Sign 5. She's just using you, brother. This is the clearest sign and the most painful one, because by this point, you haven't just lost your energy, you've lost your faith in love. She didn't come for who you are, she came for what you have. It might be your money, your attention, your status, or simply the way you make her feel seen. When you give, she stays. When you run dry, she leaves. And the bitter truth is she doesn't even see it as wrong. To her, it's just a fair exchange. At first, she's sweet, gentle, and grateful, but over time, everything you do becomes expected. You buy her gifts, she gets used to it. You help her, she treats it like an obligation. You tolerate her, she takes it as a given. And the moment you stop, she makes you feel guilty. You've changed. You don't love me like before. You're being stingy. Those words aren't questions, they're pressure, designed to make you keep giving. Brother, a woman who truly loves you will be moved by your effort. A toxic one will see your effort as fuel to keep taking more. She doesn't care if you're happy or sad, only if you're still useful. When you help her through hard times, she's there. But once she's fine again, she turns her back cold, distant, as if you never existed. You were just a stopover, not the destination. And the cruel part is she knows you love her for real. She knows you'll come back even when you're hurt. So she keeps leaving, keeps returning, keeps taking little pieces of your trust each time. That's not love, brother. That's a transaction disguised as emotion. She doesn't love you. She loves the feeling of being someone worth sacrificing for. If you've ever said, "As long as she's happy, I'm okay," then remember this love isn't self-destruction for someone else's comfort. When she's only around when it benefits her and disappears when you need her, the answer is already clear. A genuine woman will walk with you through the storm. A user will only stand beside you when the light's shining on you because she wants the spotlight, not the man who created it. And when you finally look back, you'll realize you didn't lose her. You escaped someone who never truly belonged to you. Brother, by now, you probably see it clearly. It's not that she changed, it's that you finally began to see who she really is. From the start, all you ever wanted was to love and be loved, but along the way, you lost yourself. You thought patience could save the relationship, that loving harder could fix her. But the truth is, toxic people don't want to change. They only want more control. And the most painful part is that you still think it was your fault. But brother, let me be real with you. Not every toxic woman is evil. Many of them have been hurt, betrayed, so they learn to control others as a way to protect themselves from pain. But that doesn't mean it's your job to be their healer. It's not your responsibility to save someone who's dragging both of you down into fear. Some people can only be healed after you leave. You have to understand love isn't one-sided sacrifice. It's two people mature enough to take responsibility for their own emotions. When one person keeps trying to hold things together while the other only seeks control, that's no longer love, that's imprisonment. And if you stay just because you're afraid she'll get hurt, then the one who's truly getting hurt is you. Sometimes, the bravest thing isn't fighting to stay, it's knowing when to let go. Letting go isn't weakness, it's strength. The strength to realize that peace never comes from holding on to someone, but from refusing to let them pull you down anymore. Brother, one day you'll wake up and no longer think of her with pain, but with understanding. That's the day you regain your true manhood. Not the kind that never falls, but the kind that rises again after being broken. Knowing that real love never needs to be begged for. You don't have to stay to prove you love her. Sometimes, leaving is the deepest act of self-respect. Not every love story has to end in destruction. Some exist only to teach you that you deserve better. And when you understand that, you won't feel anger or hatred, only calm and gratitude. Because she taught you something no school ever could: how to love without losing yourself. If you're still listening, I know you've loved deeply before. No one watches a video like this for entertainment. You're here because you've been hurt, drained, because you tried to save someone who didn't want to be saved. And I understand, because I've been there too: sleepless nights, endless questions, blaming myself for not being enough, not loving enough, not patient enough. But one day I realized sometimes loving more doesn't save anyone, it only makes you lose yourself. The truth is, you don't have to stay to prove you have a heart. You don't have to suffer to be called a good man. You just need to be clear-minded enough to know when to stop, and brave enough to walk away when you're no longer respected. That doesn't make you cold, it makes you free. And when you finally walk away, don't blame her. Don't try to prove anything. Just stay silent and keep your peace. Because a man loses nothing when he leaves a toxic woman. He's simply taking back what was stolen from him: his self-respect, his energy, and his peace. Take a deep breath, brother. You're not weak. You're just learning to be yourself again. And when you stand tall once more, you'll see the right kind of love never makes you guess, never makes you afraid, and never makes you beg. The right woman will bring you peace, not chaos, clarity, not confusion, respect, not control. So if this video speaks to you, keep it as a reminder. Stop investing in people who make you trade your soul for affection. Life doesn't reward blind endurance, it rewards awareness, and those who know they deserve more. Brother, thank you for staying till the end. If you need more real talks like this, follow the channel, because we'll keep having these conversations. Not to hate women, but to understand ourselves, to become men who can love without losing their strength. And remember, sometimes the right thing isn't to hold on, but to walk away, because only when you leave what's toxic can you finally touch peace.